Hey, hey, True Traveling More. Hi. Can you hear me okay? I'm kind of having a little bit of technical stuff. Just let me know. Hi, Sharitha. Okay, I see people coming in now. I don't know if there's a delay or not, and if you see me looking down, I'm going to try to look at the camera. I've got a weird setup here, but awesome. Okay, I'm seeing everybody. Hello. Hello. Okay, let me take 1 minute to type something real quick and then we're gonna get into everything. Okay. Okay. All right. So, how are y'all doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. Is the sound good? Let me know with the thumbs up. And for those who are just coming in, I was saying that the way I have it set up is my webcam is up here and my computer screen is down here. So I'm going to try to look at my webcam, but to see what everyone's saying, I have to look down at the comments. So, okay, thumbs up. That's good. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into everything because there is so much stuff that I want to talk about. There's so much stuff going on in the world right now. It's crazy. How's everybody holding up? I mean, first of all, is everyone okay? Because, I mean, it's been over a month now and we've been confined to our homes. Is everyone all right? Let's see in the comments. A lot of thumbs ups. Okay, you're doing okay. And I'm using StreamYard. This is like I just found out about this platform. So I'm doing this through a program, but hopefully everything is relaying in real time through YouTube Live. It's crazy in New York. I know. I've been hearing that. I mean, everything I see on the news and like what people are posting on social media, it seems like New York is bananas right now. Like, I don't even know. What is it like day to day in New York? Can you go places or what? Pretty good, true. Self quarantine. You self quarantined yourself years ago. Oh, and there's this cool feature where you can show comments. So I'm going to try and make sure I do all of that. That's funny. We never shut down or home restricted. Oh, really? Well, I don't know if you all know, but Georgia has been getting the side eye because our Governor Kemp, he opened up Georgia for business today. Did y'all hear about that? Okay, and little T. As well as expected. That's good. Yeah, so Governor Kemp, the governor of Georgia, because I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, he opened up nail salons, barber shops, hair salons today. And then starting Monday, he's opening up sit down, dine in restaurants and then like a few other places. But everybody has been totally against it. Like the moment he announced it, I went on Facebook and I saw everybody saying, this man is crazy. This man is trying to get y'all killed. Don't believe it. Don't go out. So even though it's open, a lot of people are not going out. At least that's what they said they weren't going to do. So we will see. Yeah, it is scary. He doesn't care about people's lives. That's what people are saying. And the whole reason is because of the economy. Now, I'm going to be getting into a lot of different things today, starting with this. Why not? So everybody knows about these, stimulus checks that have been going out. First of all, has anyone gotten their stimulus check yet? but for real, everyone's been talking about these stimulus checks. And I think what his plan is, because I listened to his address, he was talking about the economy. They want people to go out and spend these stimulus checks to get the economy back going. So it's really not even about, it's all clear, it's okay to go out. It's really about, we want you to spend this money, get the Georgia economy boosted again, and basically give that stimulus check right back. So that's really what the plan is. At least that's what it looks like, because all he talked about was the economy and this, and, in case people get sick, we've got the personnel for it and all that stuff. So, people were like, that's not happening. Let me look at these comments. You're in Canada, you got your stimulus check. What stimulus? Kidder, you said what stimulus? Are you in the US? Well, they're giving out it for people who aren't in the US, and I forgot not everybody is in the US. They made a bill, or I don't know what it's called, a thing where everybody gets, well, not everybody. Okay, let me back up. They made a what is it called? A stimulus package where people get a $1,200 stimulus check. And then if you have a child under, like a dependent child, you get like the $500 for every child. And then if you are a business, they were giving out, or they said, I haven't heard anyone get these yet, but they were giving loans out, like $10,000 loans. And then there was also like a grant that they were giving out, or said they were giving out. This is how they are getting away with not having to pay you unemployment if you are collecting and your employer called you back. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, a lot of people have not gotten their stimulus check yet. And they have a website that you can check. Actually, let me see if I can pull that up, because I was watching some YouTube videos about it. Have y'all been seeing the YouTube videos about the stimulus check updates? Like, those videos get so many views. And it's just like, here's an update, what they said about the stimulus check. Let me see if I can find this website in case those who haven't gotten their stimulus check, you can actually check the status of it. Stimulus check status. And then I'll look at these comments. Yeah, here's the website. And I think I can share my screen. Let's see. Share my screen. Let me make sure I don't have anything crazy up. I'm joking. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. It says, I don't know what. Okay. All right, so I think you all can see my screen. I can't see you all, but I think you can see my screen. You can actually check your stimulus check status by going to irs.gov, and then they have like some coronavirus stuff. And let's see, somewhere on here, probably like get my payment. Yeah, right here, get my payment. If you click that, you just have to put in like your social and, and then it'll give you your status on your check. Let me see if I can stop this share now. Okay, so that's how you can check your stimulus check status if you haven't gotten that yet. Let's see what the comments are saying. Oh, wait, let me go back. Okay, so if you're married, you get $2,900. Your husband works and you're unemployed. Okay, I didn't know that. And then Jazzy Tay says you live in Augusta and people are acting like it's vacation. Sadly, those barbershops and salons and such were really, oh, wow. And I don't know about y'all, but I mean, you're in Augusta, Jazzy. Everybody on my Facebook was like, don't go outside. We're not going outside. So it's interesting to see, what people were saying and then what they're doing. Those checks will have to be paid back. I heard that it is an advance on a tax credit that they were going to give next year. That's what I heard. Oh, your BFF got the grant for 10,000? What? Congrats. When I heard about that, it was actually the day after the stimulus check got passed. I was on YouTube and I saw this guy, and he's been making updates nonstop about the stimulus package. But that video was so helpful and it had so much information in it. And I filled out the application, everything. And I heard a couple weeks ago, whenever it was, that they allegedly had run out of money, even though they hadn't really been giving it out. So I hadn't heard anybody. So that's good to know. Somebody's getting it. It wasn't me, but somebody. Okay. What's the next thing? Oh, you must also file tax. Yeah, if you owe taxes, then you won't be getting any of that. Yeah. And if you owe child support too, they're going to take your stimulus check. Where did you hear that it would have to be paid back? Yeah, where did you hear that? I just heard that it was an advance. Like there was supposed to be some sort of tax break that was happening on next year's taxes. And that's where that money is coming back from. But either way, to me, it seems like people are losing their minds over these stimulus checks. Is it just me, or does it look like people are really like fiending for this $1,200? And hey, I'm grateful, but from what I heard, it's my money anyhow, and $1,200 really doesn't go a long way. That's just my personal opinion. I know everybody feels how they feel about it, but I'm not about to be checking every 2 seconds for, this $1,200 one time. Now, I did hear that they are looking to do some more stimulus stuff, but judging by what Kemp did, Governor Kemp opening up the state so soon, to me, I think they're not going to do another one. That's just my guess. No one knows any of this, but I don't think they're going to be doing another one because they're trying to get people to get back into society. So I think they're not. I personally don't think another bill or whatever it's called is going to pass where they give us more money, but maybe they will. I don't know. You wouldn't go out either. Yeah, I didn't go out. I've just been in. Yeah, I'm with you, April. So with that being said, with all of the, stimulus and the coronavirus, a lot of people are unemployed right now. And even though, $1,200 one time, I know everybody who's an adult and pays adult bills is like, that's great, but what's going to happen long term? Now, that's really what I want to talk about, because I've been approached by multiple different, I guess, outlets or companies and platforms to give my 2 cents on what's getting ready to happen or some ways to navigate this whole coronavirus stuff with remote work. And there's a lot of conversations going on right now. I was just talking to someone who I'm gonna be on another like panel thing. I don't know why I'm tongue-tied today. I don't know. But anyway, I was talking to someone and they were telling me some inside scoop. They were telling me about how there's a lot of businesses that aren't going to survive this whole pandemic. Like the way they have things structured, the way that things have gone, where like their workforce had to be laid off or, whatever, they're not bouncing back. Now, some of the names that were thrown out, just a couple, I didn't really know too much about them, and I've never talked about those companies on my channel. So none of the ones that I've mentioned or that's on like my website were brought up, but many business owners are just looking to cash out. And I don't know how to feel about that, because everything it's like so much stuff has happened in such a short period of time, but at the same time, it feels like it's been such a long time. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like so much stuff is happening really quickly, but at the same time, things are being, like, I feel like things are dragging. I don't know. So I feel like it's sort of presumptuous to go ahead and just be like, I'm done with business. But a lot of jobs in general, aren't coming back. You don't have to have insider knowledge to know that. It's a wrap for many people. Let's see. Supposed to base future stimulus on the unemployment rate. And I think last time I checked, it was like 26 million people in the last 4 weeks who had applied for unemployment. I believe that a lot of small businesses and mom and pop shops might fall into that category. You're trying for the stimulus, but grateful for my side hustle. Oh yeah, so that's another area too. Now, before I get off of this thought, when I had heard that, I started thinking about businesses that might run into some issues like that. And I'm from Middle Georgia. Is anyone from Middle Georgia, like the Macon, Warner Robins area? Any 478 folks in the house? I'm not from Atlanta. Most people who live in Atlanta are not from Atlanta, if you didn't know that. But anyway, there's this big Geico office in Macon. I'm talking about this place is huge. They employ just about everybody. In that area, you either work at Geico, you work at Purdue, you might work at Bluebird, and if you're really, really fortunate, you might work on the military base because there's a base there. But there's only a handful of places to work there. And Geico, just about everybody either works at Geico or has worked at Geico. In fact, Geico actually offered me a job when I graduated from college. They offered me like a claims investigator job. But after learning about some of the ways that Geico has, it was just not a good fit. They will micromanage you to death, which is why I'm thinking like of companies that can't really bounce back, or not that they can't, but they have such a large workforce, and they have so many people who work at that location. Turning to remote work is going to be tough. And the way Geico operates, it's a massive call center. So like just in February alone, they were hiring 500 people for full-time and part-time jobs just in February. So this place is big. Maybe I can find a picture and we can see what the Macon Geico office looks like. This place is huge. But my point in bringing this up is it's a call center. And we know call center jobs are perfect for remote work. You need your laptop, your phone, whatever. You can do that from home. But many companies like Geico, where they have so many people and they have built an infrastructure of micromanagedness. Like someone was telling me that they worked in the call center at Geico, and their metrics and like their KPIs are just so tight that like you can't even go to the bathroom without being timed. Like that's how they micromanage all of those people who are doing the job at Geico. So imagine those people, the way they've built their company, their company culture, all of that, trying to turn to remote work in a jiffy. Like it's not happening like that. It's going to take a lot of restructuring. So companies like that, you already know they're kind of sweating it. Let me see. I'm flashing. Oh, I didn't know I was flashing. Is my video coming through fine? It might be my light because I have my lights on and the webcam might be going in and out. I don't know. Let's see. That sounds like my community, except it is the healthcare community and fast food is where most people work. Yeah, not a lot of opportunity. So a lot of people end up going to Atlanta. Okay, I'm good. I go in and out. No flashing here. Okay. I don't know what that is. But let me see if I can pull up this Geico office just so we can have a visual with how big this place is. I was just looking on my Facebook and I saw someone do a drone over the Macon location, but I don't know where that is. But let me give you another example of why I don't think some of these companies are going to bounce back like that. So still using Geico as an example, okay? So already from one standpoint, Geico, the infrastructure is like their style of management is micromanagement. Everything is measured. They hire and fire based off of what you can do. Okay, that's one thing. But what about the fact that, okay, let's say Corona goes away like we're praying it goes away. You've got 500 people minimum working in the same building. How are you going to social distance? You know what I'm saying? So these companies, they have to turn to remote work. Like that's where all the roads are leading. People who are in the remote industry like myself, we already knew that, okay, there's a lot of jobs that it just doesn't make sense to go into an office and do. So I was thinking like within the next, few years to, however many people are going to start opening up to remote work because a lot of companies aren't open to it. Like you got to pull teeth just to get telecommute days. So you can, be more like your job can be more flexible and fit your life. A lot of companies in 2020, before all of this, where they had to force their business to go remote, they were still tripping about letting their employees work from home, even though their job could easily be a remote job. So companies like Geico, where, they have every reason not to turn to remote work because that's what they know, they have to do something. So a lot of companies are at that place. And I'm just using Geico as an example, but they have so many people working in that one office, even after Corona gets the all clear, people are still going to be socially distancing. People are, not going to try and be all up in other people's faces, and it's not going to be that easy. But seeing it from their perspective, a lot of companies already have buildings and they already have all the equipment, all the desks, and you name it. So they're not going to want to just decide, okay, well, we're going to go remote now because people want to, not get sick. It's going to be a little bit of a fight for some companies just because of that reason. Let me see the comments. You said maybe that's why you can't find headsets in stock. Oh, because everybody's having to work from home. The census is a call center. Okay. You would love to work remote, Kendra. It's wonderful. Yes, Williams-Sonoma. I posted about them a couple weeks ago. They are hiring again, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Christopher. My friend works for the U.S. Census at home. Okay, cool. Hey there, Ebony. You need one with a mute button. Like, I've got so many wires on my desk like this. This has a mute button on it. It's not plugged up, but this is a headset. This headset is, I like this headset so much. I washed the ear things on it, so it's like tearing up. But I have a video about headsets. It's an older video from last year where I talk about the different types of headsets. And also on my website, I have where you can pick up equipment for your office. So maybe check there if you haven't had any luck finding headsets. Let's see. Ronisha, is that how I say your name? You said, yes, I work for a huge insurance company that starts with an A. And we just had a meeting that it may not be a wise business decision to sign another lease in a building that no one is in. Yeah. But, there's a lot of companies who I don't think it's going to be that easy for them. And I I'm always looking at the leads and stuff. And it's surprising to me, even with everything that's going on in the job leads, a lot of companies will say remote to start, but then we're going to go back to the office. And my thought process is, if you can do it remotely now, why not keep it remote? But I guess because they already have that office, they don't want to, go back to or continue remote work. They want to go back to using their office. I don't know. But there's a lot of movement, a lot of things happening in the way companies are structured. Now, my prediction is, and I'm almost fairly certain about this, like your company, Renisha, I think a lot of companies that were not remote friendly are going to become more remote friendly, because there's an advantage to companies to offer remote options. Number one, they don't have to pay a lease for a building. They don't have to provide you with an office space. They don't have to pay a light bill. They don't have to pay the internet bill. They don't have to have a janitor to clean the office. I mean, there's so much money that they save from not having an overhead. And that's one of the biggest reasons why companies decide to go remote in the first place. So with this stuff going on, I think a lot of companies are going to have to, they're going to be forced into it, but they're also going to be okay with it. And so I think there's a lot more opportunities coming. I've been seeing a lot of remote opportunities, a lot. And I know a lot of times people think when something like this or something bad happens that jobs dry up. Well, certain jobs do, but there's a lot of remote jobs out there. And I post Monday through Friday. So I hope that gives people encouragement to know that there are jobs hiring, and you don't have to, think that there's a shortage, because there's never a shortage of jobs. So let me look at these comments. And sorry if I'm congested. I'm always congested. I just have year-round allergies or something. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, you applied to Teladoc. Awesome. Connie said, hi, Delilah. I finally got a first interview with Sitel today. Congrats, Connie. Wednesday interviewed with Broadpath too. It's been a process. Woo! You got all the interviews. You just said they said our number have actually increased. Oh, wow. Ashioma. I hope I'm saying your name right. I just shut my day home due to COVID-19. Any idea of work at home opportunities in Canada? I posted a couple. I've been posting so many videos, I can't even name them off top. I think Sitel hires in Canada. I don't know. I don't know that one right now, but I do see a lot of companies hiring in Canada. I just can't think of any off top right now. Let's see. You're beautiful. Thanks for the information. Oh, thank you. Thank you for all the work you do. I appreciate you all watching. I really do, because there are a lot of people who post videos about job leads and work from home information. So I do understand that you could be watching anybody's video, but you all watch mine. So I appreciate that. What about California? Do you think there will be opportunities for remote positions? Oh yeah, the two states that I'm always getting requested for work from home opportunities is California and New York. And I've been seeing a lot of New York only leads that are awesome, but I can't share because it's just for New York. And I try to share leads that at least have, a handful of states. And I've also been seeing those for California too. So I'm going to try and figure out a way to maybe share those opportunities that I come across for individual states that are really good. But I just haven't figured out how I'll do that yet. Maybe just post it on my site. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Y'all are really nice. Oh yeah, Concentrix. Yes, Paris. Concentrix hires in Canada. Thank you. So I think with that being said, if anything, we should all be optimistic about remote work, because so many more opportunities are getting ready to open up. And I think for those who are actively job seeking now, or if you already have remote experience, that's going to give a lot of people a leg up, but you got to be out there looking for these opportunities when they're available, because so many people who are forced to turn to remote work, they don't have experience. But if you are someone who's already worked remotely, you're going to, go to the top of the application pile because you have that remote experience. So, don't give up the good fight looking for a remote opportunity, because there's a lot of them. And I've been seeing more and more high paying ones too. That's also something that I predict will increase. Like, I try to post as many opportunities that pay at least $15 or more. There are leads that I post that are under that. And usually those are no experience leads. So they serve a purpose, but I've been seeing a lot of like 18, 20 plus opportunities. Let's see what else comments say. Do I have, okay, so let's get into the Q&A. I promised I'd do a Q&A. I've been getting a lot of questions in my email and Facebook and all sorts of places. So I know that there's a lot of questions that you all have, and I can't always respond back. So let me go back and see if there are already some questions in here. Have you heard anything about the company Experis that's supposed to hire people to help with New York unemployment? Haven't heard anything about them. I saw a company today that's based in California with an opportunity like that. And I think I'm going to share that one, but I can't think of the name of it. I already bookmarked it though. Thank you, Renisha. Let's see. Tip Jeff 38. My remote company laid me off because we worked out of New York for an electric smart meter company. I will be getting my unemployment. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So you worked remotely, but they laid you off for an electric smart meter company? So did they outsource your job? I'm not sure what that means. Wow. Thank you, Debbie. Okay, let's see. Do you have something for beginners? I actually have a video that I talk about. Let me pull it up since I can share my screen, just so you can see where it is on my YouTube. But I have a video where I talk about a strategy to get hired if you don't have any experience. Now, when you don't have any experience, there are fewer jobs that you can choose from. And when you do have experience, you can choose from more. So let me go. I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. So I'm going to my YouTube channel. So it's in this playlist, in my Q&A Tuesday playlist. It's called this one, Get Hired Online with No Experience. Basically what I talk about in the video is you might want to get on with one of these 1099 call centers. I know they don't pay that great, but you get the experience. And once you get the experience, you can then go on to a better paying opportunity. So if you don't have any experience and you've been applying to those no experience jobs and you're not getting hired there, you might want to try out like a Rise or Live Ops or NextRep. They're not actually jobs, they're work opportunities. And as long as you pay your money, or however their format is, Working Solutions, if I didn't say that one already, then you can start servicing, get paid, and then you can put that on your resume because you've worked with CRMs and you've worked with customers and answering inbound calls or making outbound calls, all the stuff that they usually have on those leads. And then from there, you've got a strong resume and can get hired. So that's a strategy that I recommend. It does work. But you can always just, continue applying. But if you want to make money and, do something that's going to be proactive, I recommend that. Today on the ABC News, there was a warning about scammers work from home jobs. They advise people to sought after remote or virtual jobs as these appear to be legitimate. Thank you for bringing that up because that's something I said I'm going to talk about. Have you all been seeing a lot of scams recently? I know I have. I've been seeing and it not so much in the job leads that I go through, but more like on Facebook. There's this one scam called the Blessing Circle. Have y'all heard of that? The Blessing Circle scam? Let me pull up this news article I was looking at that talks about it. But basically, it's if you put in $100, you're supposed to somehow end up with $800. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I don't know if you've seen that, but that's what I've seen. Let me see. No, you haven't heard that one? I mean, to me, it just sounded like a scam. How am I going to put in $100 and then end up with $800? That sounds like a scam to me. So I didn't even pay attention to it. But apparently, a lot of people are getting got with this scam. I'm going to share my screen to this news article. It's not a local news article, but it was the one that I was looking at because it's like, what is that? Okay, so it says police warn of reemergence of scam known as the Circle Game, Blessing Circle, or Mandala Game. And let me skip to the part where it basically explains how it works. So basically, let me see if I can paraphrase. Have you ever heard of the Circle Game, the Mandala Game, whatever? You may have heard or seen these games that ask you to invest in order to reach the middle are in fact scams. We have not yet had any local reports of victims at our agency, but have had numerous followers contact us to let us know this scam is reemerging and they are seeing locals share this information online. The scheme involves a group where each person pays an entry fee to join. As more people join, the original members are told they will get payouts from the money of the new members. The most recent version of the scam promises an $800 return for a $100 investment. In order to make money, new people constantly have to be recruited into the circle. In order for the first 8 people to be paid, 64 new people have to buy in. In order for those 64 people to be paid, 512 people have to buy in, and so on. At some point, the system collapses and people lose money. Not only will you lose money, this activity is also illegal in the US. First of all, nobody is getting paid. Like, I don't even think anybody's getting paid because that would mean that whoever scammed the first 8 people had to suddenly find some honesty and pay out the money. No, nobody is getting paid in this. It's just a scam. But when it comes to other scams for remote work, yes, there are also other ones going on right now. Anytime you find a company that you are interested in, you always want to check out their website, check out them on Glassdoor, LinkedIn, go to other socials like Facebook or Twitter or YouTube even. You just really want to see, does this company have a footprint other than this one post? And let's say, for example, they have a website. Well, you've seen a professionally done website before. You know if something was put together in 2 seconds, even if you're not the most tech savvy person. I see a lot of, I've seen a lot, not just recently, but in general, I've seen a lot of job leads that look like a scam. And when I go to their website, it looks like it was thrown together. Maybe they might have a Glassdoor, but it's not claimed. And there might just be one little review there. And, looking everywhere else online for this company, I don't really see anything about them. So that to me, even if they are a legit company, that to me just says it's not somewhere I want to work. I want to work somewhere where other folks have worked, or they can tell me about it, or I can research them. I don't have time to waste. So that's what I recommend. And scammers get smart. So there's not a particular term that I have seen where, oh, let me use this term to scam. But anything that looks too good to be true, anything like I mentioned where it just doesn't look professionally done, they're nowhere to be found other than, the small amount of locations that you find them. Those are signs that it's a scam and you just don't want to bother. There's so many companies out there. If you're on the fence about whether something's a scam or not, I recommend just moving on and don't waste any more time. Just because when you get scammed, there's just too much you got to fix. People steal your identity and all of that. And I've never been a part of a scam, I guess, but I've mentioned this before, and I can't remember what video, but when I first got hired to work online as an online tutor, that was my first remote job. I found this other opportunity where basically you'd be canceling people's credit. What is it, like a credit monitoring program or something? Like they were looking to get their credit score, and they were charged $1 to get their credit score. And then after they got their credit score, maybe like 30 days later, they'd get charged like $10. So they would be calling to cancel. And my job, and this was just something I was doing on the side before the tutoring job started, my job was to just cancel them. And if they left me a good survey, I'd get paid real good. If they left me a bad survey, they'd take a lot of money. And at the time, I didn't know anything about remote work, hardly, besides what I had learned. And now I would definitely say that that is a scam. Number one, just the company itself, I had no clue what this company was called. Like they said their name was called, no, actually, the name was called Nexus OP. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of this, but the company, you can't find a trace of them anywhere. And when I was researching them, because I was like, where did they go? They have had some name changes in the past. But like one day out of thin air, the company went away. That's a scam. Even though I actually did get paid, it was a scam because it wasn't a real company. It was just sort of like some sort of I don't know, like a pyramid scheme. I don't know what you would call that, but that would be an example of a scam. And I get approached all the time in my email from very similarly structured companies that want me to share those leads with you all, and I will never share those. I don't share a lot of opportunities, and I just want you all to know that when I share a lead, it's because I've already gone through it. I've looked into it. It's something I would recommend to a friend or a family member. I don't post just anything. And I know a lot of channels that post the type of content I post, they do post those. So let me look at the comments. Where is that at? Thank you. This is why we rely on your legit leads. Thank you. But yeah, that's a scam. And there's a lot of them around right now because people know that everybody's working remotely. People know that there's 26 million people unemployed right now, and people are looking for money. Other signs too that you can point out something as a scam is if the pay just doesn't sound right. Like I've seen a lot of opportunities that's like everything seems really good, but you want to pay me $50 an hour to do what? Like that doesn't even make sense. And then of course I go through the whole process of looking into them, and it's like, that doesn't make sense. And I don't share those either. I want to share high paying leads, but I'm not going to do it at the expense of, someone getting got. Let's see. Kayla said, I got a scam today for work at home for 35 an hour. What was it? Was it that you looked into it and it just didn't look right? And that's how you know it was a scam? Mm-hmm. But this company, it was called Nexus OP, and they only had, you could communicate via Skype. There was supposed to be a Skype group, and then you could also communicate on Facebook. Another thing, I never spoke to a single person from this company. I really don't know what I was thinking at this point. I think I just was like, hey, you're going to pay me. If you want to try and rob my 2 nickels, go ahead. Like, I really didn't even care because it's so silly when I think about it. I had to put my social security in. It was a self-paced training. So once you get to the website, anybody can have the job. I don't even think there was an assessment. It was like, if you sign up, you have the job, but you have to go through the self-paced training first before you get access to the platform. So I signed up, gave out my social security like a not smart person. I went through the self-paced training, and I think that took me about a day to do, like an afternoon. And then once I got on the platform, it was all through an online dialer. So I used my USB headset, and basically a call would come in and I would have to be there to answer the call and press the button. And it would be someone saying like, why did you charge me this much for whatever? I don't even know what this is. And then it's like, well, I can cancel you, And so then I'd have to tell them, please leave me a good survey, because if they left me a survey of a 4 or a 5, I'd get like $20 or so. It didn't make any sense, people. Like, it made no sense. But if they gave me anything under that, it would take like $30. So I'd be in the negative. I only did it enough to get paid one time, and I ended up getting a $500 check. But like I said, after that, I started with my tutoring job. And after I was going through the training and stuff for that job, and I was like, okay, well, let me, look into this job again and see what they got going on. They weren't there. And I mean, this isn't a matter of like a few weeks to a month. They disappeared like that. So anything that sounds too good to be true, it is. It's too good to be true. Another scam that I get approached about all the time is people, like, these companies will reach out to my email and ask me if I can post certain opportunities. Some of the companies and I have a relationship, but some of these people are just random out the blue, and they'll ask me about this one scam, and I didn't understand it until I looked into it recently. But basically, they want you to give them access to your Facebook page, and when you give them access to their Facebook page, they will post ads, because you have to have some sort of Facebook page or something for them to have in order to post ads. And they're going to pay you some amount of money every time someone goes to the ad and does something. And every time someone I recommend does it or has a click through, I get paid. So if I were to announce it on my channel, and all the people who decide like, hey, I want to make, $25 or $50 every time someone gets paid, regardless if I do it or not, I would get paid. I don't post stuff like that. Those aren't jobs. Those aren't anything that is sustainable. You cannot guarantee that those companies are still going to be around. And then, it begs a lot of questions like, what do you need my Facebook page for? Why can't you do that on yours? It just doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. Anything that just doesn't make sense is too good to be true. It is. Let me look through these comments again. Connie said, I heard of some men and women going to door with masks and giving them out and asked you to put it on for fit. And there is some kind of chemical on it that makes you pass out while they rob you. This is too much. This is crazy. And I don't put it past anybody to do that. I had heard before all this coronavirus stuff, I had heard about scams where people will go to your door saying that they're the cable man or whatever, and then they rob you like that. And it sounds kind of like that same thing, except, make it more coronavirus friendly. Don't let anybody in your house or let them give you stuff. Even when I go to the grocery store, I went to Kroger and someone was just standing up at the front wiping down. Well, they weren't wiping down the carts. They just had a cloth and some spray, and they didn't have a Kroger uniform on. So he had like reached out to me like he wanted to hand me a cloth and some spray to wipe down my cart with. But I'm like, should he be wearing like a badge or something that says Kroger at least? I don't know. Like, I was like, no, thank you. Like even with stuff like that, I'm always like on my toes because people are trying to get you and it's crazy. Let's see what else here. Kayla said the guy wanted to send me a check to get the equipment. That's when I was like, no. Oh, and another scam I had heard of a little while ago is if I'm not sure if you all noticed, but on some of the sites, sometimes when I share a lead, I'll show some of the stuff that they have on their page. But some of these sites, since they're so popular, like I think Concentrix is one that has this on there. Anything like Sitel or Conduit, like these are really big online call centers. They'll have something on there that says like, scam warning. If anyone reaches out to you from any address other than such and such, it's not from us. A lot of people will try and kind of like hijack a company's persona and email you saying, hey, interview with me. And their interview is not professional. It just seems weird. They're asking for money. And if it's from the company, because usually if it's a big name like that, their email is their domain and it will be like at conduent.com or at concentrix.com. It will never be from a random Gmail address. And if anyone reaches out to you saying, hey, I have a job and you didn't apply, that's a scam too. So I want to say I have a video about this. And if I don't, I need to have a video about this, but I think I have a video from a long time ago. I can't even remember, but I think I have one. If not, I definitely need to update that. So you all just gave me a good video idea. I need to update my scam video. I got the check, called the bank about it. Okay. So you went through, what did the bank say? I have heard of it, and there's another YouTube work from home was asking for volunteers for Facebook. A lot of people post that. They showed me videos of other YouTube channels' videos for inspiration for that. They're like, oh, here's videos of other YouTubers who have posted about us. It's like, no, I'm not posting that. Like, I don't, with Facebook, they have access to so much information. I don't put it past them to be able to get all of your info from, like, they could just easily steal your identity. I'm not doing that. The types of jobs that I post, in case you all have not noticed, they're actual jobs. You have to apply and get hired, with the exception of the 1099 call center opportunities. But even those I have vetted, they're legit. There's hundreds of thousands of people who have worked there. You will never hear me talk about some type of scam or something where you just press a button and you get, $10 every time over and over again. Of course, people watch those videos, but I'm not in it for the views. That doesn't even make sense to me. People are getting a bit desperate now, so stuff like that is going to pop up more. Oh yeah, they are getting desperate, and it's sad, but what can you do? I gave them the name of the couple's name that was on the check, was advised. Oh, and the other scams that I've been seeing, I thought I didn't really know about a lot of scams, but it turns out I do. I hadn't seen this for a while, but they used to do it all the time, where it's like someone's like, inbox me, and as long as you've got a valid Bank of America account, inbox me and I can show you how to make your 100 into 1,000 or 10, something like that. I forgot exactly how it works, but some sort of way, the person who's the scammer, they need someone who has a good standing bank account so that they can write a bad check and somehow they'll get that money cashed out. But then, you burn through a lot of people doing that because the bank catches on that you're writing bad checks. So that's why they always have to say, I need someone who's got a Bank of America or whatever kind of account so that they can run that scam. So don't fall for that either. You can't make $1,000 out of $100 without doing some kind of work. There's no way to get around that. Okay. For my company, we install smart meters for the customers, either on the outside of the home or the inside of the home. We set the appointments. With COVID-19. We can no longer set the appointment for New York. Oh, okay. I guess that's what that was about. Yeah. But that's also good to know because you won't show up unannounced. So anyone who shows up unannounced, that is not good. Okay, so we've been on here for a little over an hour. I love talking to you all, but I don't want to take up your Friday nights. So I want to answer a few more pressing questions. We can go ahead and close out, and I will be back on live a lot sooner than I was. Last time I was on live was like September or October. It's been a long time since I've been on live, but I'm not going to be away that long. Okay, let me back up here. They did it all via Skype. Yeah, and in your interviews, if the person who's interviewing you just doesn't seem professional, like something just doesn't seem like, your gut feeling plays a lot into figuring out if something is a scam or not. If you just don't feel right about a company, that's good enough for you to say, I'll look somewhere else. It's better than getting got. Some guy on OfferUp tried to get me to send him my laptop that I'm trying to sell without paying for it. He used PayPal to send the payment, but the PayPal email was very sketchy. Wow, people are out here scamming. As a beginner and go through Arise for a training session, do you get paid during the training? On the third phase of the training, is it all in the evening? How important is it if I miss one or two? Okay, Barbara, so let me answer your questions. So the first thing you said, do you get paid during the training? No and yes. Depending on the Arise training that you go through, some of it might be paid at the end during your like nesting phase or like right before you get out. I don't want to mix up the terms, but basically you'll have, like, I'll just use mine for example. My training was 3 weeks because it got extended and they had a whole bunch of problems. The first 2 weeks were unpaid. The last week, when we started taking phone calls, that was when I would get paid. But even during that, remember, you're only paid during the time you are servicing, and that paid / training period of time, the way they set it up for us was we would take turns in groups to turn on our dialer. So whatever I was paid during that time was probably less than $5. I don't know if that's the case for everybody, but that's how it was for me. I had a new client. I was working with a new client. They did not have any of their stuff together. That's why the 2-week training turned into a 3-week training. And I didn't even actually get to do a full phone call. It was like a mock phone call. I don't even know. It was a mess. Your other question, you said on the third phase of the training, is it all in the evening? My training hours never changed. It was from, I want to say 3 to 8, something like that. Something in that window. And it was always that same time, Monday through Friday, every day at the training. So I don't know if they changed that, but they'll always tell you up front, and especially in that overview, what they are expecting, and when the training times and the pay and all of that. So you'll know before you even go into it if you're able to swing the training, and you can't miss any. It's 100% mandatory or else you fail. That's how they had it set up for me, at least. So you want to make sure that you can make that schedule. Remote jobs are always difficult to get. They always want hardwired internet connection. You might want to look into my course. It is a paid course, but everyone who has taken my course, How to Find a Remote Job, they have had great success with it. And I'm not just saying that. I put a lot of detail into that course. So some people, they can just see the lead, apply, they get hired. But for, everybody's different. You might want to take the course. I talk about your resume, your cover letter, the interview, all of that. The website, I guess I can share my screen and show you all my Teachable website. It's through my Teachable school. So let me go there. I can go inside the course or outside. Okay, I'm going to just share my screen and we'll see what I see. So my Teachable school. So this is inside How to Find a Remote Job, my course. So I give a lot of detail here. I go through it thoroughly. So you might already know what remote work is, and you might know that what you're trying to do, you can do it. But I really, cross every T, dot every I with it. I give you a resume, and I show you how to make your resume so that you stick out for remote work. I give you interview tips. I talk a little bit about what happens after it. You also get a cover letter, and it's like a one-stop shop if you want to get into remote work. This is on the inside of it, but if you are not, if you don't have the course already, then you'll end up on the sales page for it, for How to Find a Remote Job. So I talk about the course here and it gives details, but if you are struggling, you may want to consider it. So, and then I also have other courses, remote resume formula and remote work cover letter formula. So depends on what you're looking for. But the hardwired internet connection, there are jobs that don't require it. So if a job is truly remote, and that term gets used interchangeably, but if a job is truly remote, it doesn't matter where you're located or if you're on Wi-Fi. So my tutoring job, as an example, it was a true remote job. I could travel with my job as long as my internet connection was stable enough for me to be on video like I am now, then I'm fine. They did not require me to have a hardwired connection. However, other companies, like especially if you're doing something that requires you to answer phone calls or something like that through your computer, they want you to have a hardwired connection. It's secure, number one, so it's harder to hack because you have a lot of sensitive data that you're using. And then it also is more stable. So if you are looking for something that doesn't require a hardwired connection, you want to look for something remote. I ended up getting on with LiveVox. Congrats, Ebony. That's awesome. I did not send my laptop to the guy. Good. Don't send your laptop. Oh, yeah. Upwork has scammers, too. They're scamming all over the world. Do you know of work from home jobs in Israel? That would be another, that remote work would be something you'd be looking into, because I look for opportunities all over, and the bulk of them are either in the US, Canada, or select places like in Europe. But as far as like a job in Israel, you would want to look for a company that says you can work from anywhere. So the jobs that I posted on, was that Tuesday? I'll share my screen again so I can show you on my YouTube channel. Anytime I post a global job, 9 times out of 10, it's like global for everybody and not just certain areas. So it was this one. It's a company called Crossover. And they're like a recruiting company. So the opportunity isn't necessarily with them. And I'm going to get the link and I'll see if I can post it, or I'll just, this is the video, so you can come here. But there were a few that I showed, and then you can go to their career page, and they're hiring, and it doesn't matter where you live. So you could do this job or the jobs that they have here, and they're always updating it. So all of these, they're global. So this is one company that I can think of off top that would be hiring in your area. Okay. Well, let me go back to the chat. Can anyone tell me, do you have to have good credit to work at LiveVox? I want to say that they do a credit check. Some of these companies require a credit check, and I didn't understand why at first, but I think if you've got bad credit, apparently you're more likely to do something they don't like. I don't know the 100% reason, but I think that plays into it. It's weird, but they do a credit check, I believe. Some companies do. When they do that background check, they also do a credit check. You got scammed twice from LinkedIn? What happened, Monique, if you don't mind telling it? And companies can post anywhere. Companies can post, even if you are a scam, you can easily post on LinkedIn Jobs. You can post on Indeed and Glassdoor. There's nothing stopping anyone from being able to purchase a job post, or some of these places are free. That's why you always want to just check them out and make sure that they are who they say they are. Thank you so much. I have you on my face. Oh, thank you. I didn't know you did live. I haven't done one in a long time, Kendra. I'm doing one tonight. I'm going to try doing more. I need to be better about that. Thank you, Miss Laird Lewis. Okay, so going through these. That is what's going on with Teladoc. What's going on with Teladoc? I just posted about Teladoc today. Most of the third phase of training is in the evening. Also, the trainings are running 6 weeks. Okay, that's good. Not all of the trainings are at the same time, because I had seen some that were like 9 to 5. I knew I couldn't commit to that. And they had some that were like middle of the day. They're pretty flexible with the training times, because not everybody, like a lot of the people who do Arise, at least, they have another job. Like one of the ladies who was in my training class with me, she was telling me that she does a 9 to 5, but she was just doing Arise for extra money, which I only recommend it for. I know there's a lot of people who do it full time. The person who trained me in my class when I was trying out Arise, she was there for 10 years, and she loved it. She did it full time. But just from my experience doing that, because I wanted to find out this information because I was getting asked about it all the time, I would never, ever, ever recommend Arise or any of those jobs as a full-time job where you're putting all your eggs in their basket. No, because they can just lock you out one day. And I talk about that in one of my videos. A lot of people, they just get locked out one day, and it's up to them to figure out that they got let go. So I personally wouldn't do it full time, but it's great for extra money and part-time work. Post a link in chat, please. What link? How much is your course? My course is $127, but I think if you go through if you go through the ebook thing, you can get a discount. I have multiple funnels set up, so I can't really remember. Oh, you give me inspiration. Oh, thank you, Yvette. Their class is not structured, no direction. The Arise class? I was looking at this one. Thank you, Anisha. I appreciate that. Please advice working on Fiverr. Um, I have not worked on Fiverr myself, but I've bought a lot of stuff from Fiverr. And for those who aren't familiar with Fiverr, Fiverr is, I can show you Fiverr. I like this feature where I can just show the screen, but you can get one-off digital things on here. So like my banner on my channel, I got that made on Fiverr by somebody. So you can get stuff created on Fiverr for you, like images. Like, let me go back to my channel so you know what I'm talking about. Like this banner here, someone on Fiverr made that for me. So you can do a lot of stuff on Fiverr. You can make coupons, or you can have someone do data gathering for you, make a video, all sorts of stuff. You know, if it's digital, you can make it on Fiverr. I bought stuff from Fiverr, like I said, but I've never sold on there. But I think it's as simple as making a profile, and you might want to try out getting reviews first. So like if you notice, let me go back here. So like, let's say, for example, this person, I bought a discount coupon voucher from this person for a digital product. This person has 5-star reviews and 58 people have purchased from this person. When I'm looking for someone to buy from, I look for, you know, have you done this multiple times? If not, I'm probably going to go to someone else. So you might want to start off by getting reviews from friends, family members, or actually making your services truly $5 so people will, you know, $5, okay, I'll try you out. It's probably not going to be great. But once you build up your reviews and stuff, then you can up your prices. So that might be a strategy that you try out to build up your Fiverr. The first person was from overseas. I checked them out, everything checked out. But when I did not hear from her, I called the company. They said they never heard of that woman. Ooh, people are scamming. And then the second time, the man cursed at me and I knew he was a scam. Yeah, unprofessional behavior. If people are acting unprofessionally during your interview or through any type of communication, if their email is not from the company's domain, like they're sending you an email from Gmail, but you're applying to like using Conduit or something, their email needs to say so-and-so at conduit.com. It shouldn't be, you know, babygirl23 at AOL. That's just a scam. So there's just, you know, some signs you can, you know, look at. Hi, Patrice. Most of these training sessions are 3 phases. The first one beginning in the earliest part of the day, the second one in the middle part of the day, and the third and the last few in the evening. Oh, I didn't know they did it like that, and like blocks changing the different times. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate you. Tavia says, also with the Rise, you have to fight for hours, only do for side money or to get remote experience. Yep, that's another reason, because they don't have it where it's first come, first serve. So like with my client, they were a brand new client. I think I was like part of the very first wave of people coming in. There wasn't a shortage of hours, but what they did was they changed things up on us last minute. They said it was going to be from one time to another, but then they said, nope, it's going to be something else. So they forced us to to confine our hours to a shorter amount of time. And I did not like that. They switched it up on us. I love Fiverr. I got my book cover for a book that I've written done by a graphic designer. I love Fiverr too. You can get really professional work for a low price. So anyone who wants to start a YouTube channel, if you want your YouTube channel to look good, you might want to just go to Fiverr and get a banner or a photo or something done, and it'll make your channel look better. When I first started my channel, I did it myself, and my design skills were not that great. If anyone was around back then, it's so embarrassing, but I've upgraded. So everybody starts from somewhere. And especially my old videos, don't go back and look at them. They're still up there, but Do you have any work from home jobs that are free to join and that provide equipment? Everything other than the 1099 call center jobs are free to apply. And the ones that provide equipment, I actually have a video that is in the works of me making of companies that provide it, but I know Broadpath off top, they provide equipment. There was this one company that I shared this week. You have to go back through my leads. They provided equipment, but typically if a company provides equipment, I will put that in the title. Like I'll say like free laptop or free equipment, just so you know. So you just might want to look through my channel because I can't think of them off top. What are good companies to work for at home? All the ones I post. Every company that I post on my channel, I actually like these companies. I don't post any leads where I'm like, ooh, I don't like this one. Like, I might not personally do it, but any company I post, I would recommend it to a friend or a family member. Like that's my like rule for posting. If I would not recommend this to someone, with the exception of Rise, because if you see my videos, you know how much I do not like that company, but I know it serves its purpose. So I'll still talk about a good company if I don't personally like it, but if it's just not a good company in general, I won't post it. Really appreciate your honesty and appreciate you and all your hard work. I love that about you. You're like no other. You're legit. Thanks a lot. And I love that name, just like in the Bible, Delilah. Thank you. I'm actually named after the Delilah in the Bible. Not what she did, but the name. My dad named me. Awesome, Tawana. You post 2 of the jobs. Which ones, if you don't mind saying? You're getting to the money. Okay, because I work for Concentrix doing Blue Cross and Blue Shield, but I wish they paid more. Well, you've got the experience, so now you can put that on your updated resume and you can apply to other opportunities that pay more and hopefully get hired. Okay. Do I have any jobs for international country? I was just talking about one that I posted this week from a company called Crossover. Check my leads from this week on my YouTube. The company is called Crossover and they hire globally. How you doing, Aaron? I'm doing good. How are you? Currently stay in Turkey. Yeah, and with the global jobs, I really do look for them. I would post global jobs as often as I came across them, but it's just they're fewer and far between. And I have a video about that in my Q&A Tuesday playlist. Anytime I come across a truly global remote opportunity, just already know I'm going to post it. But those opportunities are a little bit more rare than the other ones. So I'm thinking about all my global subscribers, but sometimes I just don't find any global leads for weeks on end. So I was really happy to see that Crossover lead. Okay, it is 8:28, and I'm going to answer a couple more questions, but I don't want to take up y'all's Friday nights. I know it's been a long week. I know y'all are tired. I'm a little bit tired myself. I'm ready to relax. I haven't eaten dinner yet. Have you all eaten yet? I have not. You've been you've been applying for work at home jobs every day since March 22nd, have not been hired. Well, it's only been about a month. I will say that. You want to continue being optimistic, and you also want to evaluate any areas that you can improve. So it hasn't been a long time yet, but if you feel like, okay, there's something I need to be doing, then you can watch. I have a playlist. So I've got a playlist with a lot of free information. I try to give y'all as much free info as I can, but I gotta make a living here. But if you're not ready to get a course of mine, then I have a playlist called Interview and Job Training.
Hey.
Oh my goodness, this is an old video. This just shows you how far my channel has come. I didn't know how to do my eyebrows back then. But this playlist has a lot of information in it, and it's kind of slowing down. I hope my computer didn't freeze. But you can get a lot of free, helpful info that will help you on your job search. It's kind of going really slow. I don't know what that's about, but come here first. And then the next thing that I would recommend is looking into improving your cover letter and your resume. And if you go to one of my recent videos in the comment section, I'll show you in the comment section, there is a Webinar Jam link to a free webinar and cover letter training that will really help you out. So come on, let's load. Yeah, right here. So that's what I recommend. So number one, go to my interview and job training job training playlist. And then I would also watch this on-demand resume and cover letter webinar that I have. And those will really help you out if you think there's something that you can improve. And there's always something we can improve, but it really hasn't been that long. So I wouldn't get too worried yet. And then you also want to apply a lot. All right. When does the pre-work begin with after enrollment for Rise? Right away, because I had to go get my ASD and I had to make sure that I could boot it on my computer and all that. But then we spent like the first 3 days doing all the pre-work in class anyhow. But I would still recommend doing it as soon as you get access to that pre-work. Kayla said she had Chick-fil-A. Well, I'm going to have some Chick-fil-A too because I'm hungry, Kayla. I think that's what I'm going to have. 90 Day Fiance. That's my show, 90 Day Fiance. I love 90 Day Fiance. They are all train wrecks this season. Okay, y'all. I appreciate you all spending your time with me. I could keep going, but I got to eat. And I know you all have to enjoy your Friday night. So I appreciate you all. And I will be on live again. And of course, I'll be on YouTube Monday with my latest work from home opportunity. But take care, stay safe out there, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.